Okay. Hey guys, I just wanted to talk a little bit about a new campaign going on at Lush that just started today. It's called Make for History. If you want to know more about the campaign and what we're doing, you can go on social media like Instagram or Twitter and hashtag Make for History and you can see what's happening. So, this campaign is about bringing awareness of fur farming that's going on in our own country and countries all around the world. 100 million animals worldwide are killed for fashion every year. That's a lot of dead animals, and the problem with that is most of the time people will see animals as, food, enemies. These are, they're out to get us, we are superior to them, whatever. Where we don't think that we can just coexist and, we can all live together, which can be done and has been done in history. But recently, in the past, couple hundreds of years, fur farming and fur fashion has really, what would I say, has really transpired quite a lot. And for that reason, they use that for economical growth and for higher status. And, it's all just like a big, like, plot to, like, buy this fur, you're exclusive, you don't have fur, you're not, whatever, that's just BS. But some people do see it that way. And even just like going on Instagram and like Lush just posted like one photo saying like fur farming is going on in your backyard and people are going crazy. Like already within 10 minutes people are arguing, people aren't really seeing the point, but they're just like getting really emotional about this because it's a big deal. You have your vegans and your vegetarians who probably shop at Lush, and then you have your meat eaters who probably shop at Lush too, but they're like, they get emotional about it because they feel like they're being attacked. But this isn't an attack on anybody except for the big guys. These are the giants, the guys that we don't really have a say in. Huge corporations that are, taking your money to make you feel exclusive. But anyways, I'll get to that later. So, a couple of facts, like I just said, 100 million animals globally. That's terrifying to me. If you want to know how they kill the animals, one way is they take a rod. This isn't a rod, but they will take an electrical rod and shove it up like the animal's rectum or a private part, and then they'll electrocute that animal from inside to preserve the fur, to make sure things don't get too messy, and for a quick death. They try to justify saying animals aren't in pain during this process, but you're like, what? Like, you're killing something. You are being desensitized to slaughter, which is inhumane and absolutely mind-blowing that this happens, and this is happening in Canada, in our own country. I think it was a couple months ago, the Fur Bear Defenders, which is a small grassroots charity that Lush is working with, they actually had this petition to get the RCMP to stop wearing like those super ugly raccoon hats, or like those hats with the fur on them, just because they're unnecessary and people make fun of them for it anyways. So why would you need that? And the entire RCMP squad was completely there for discontinuing this, for, getting rid of those hats because they're not really useful anymore. But when they were going to pass that, the federal government decided to reverse that and say, no, you need to have these hats. And obviously, when you think about that, that is a huge reason because it's a part of Canadian heritage, and, well, it's not. It's a part of Canadian economics. Heritage goes back, like, if we want to go into heritage about Aboriginal culture, that is a completely different thing. That is a religious practice, or spiritual practice, and, that's a whole different process. You're talking to your spiritual leader, they're using the bones, they're using the eyes, they're using the meat, they're using everything about that animal, which, if that is what you have to do, and you're doing it in a humane way and a sustainable way, then great, so be it. But when you're killing like hundreds of animals a day for fashion, that's, you know, I think I could say that that's something a little bit different. So anyways, I just want to let you know what we're doing at Lush. We're causing awareness about this just to get the conversation going, because really it's not worth it to be paying thousands of dollars for a dead animal to be wearing that when you can find more sustainable options. And so what you can do though is you can go into Lush, any Lush, and you can bring in your real fur, and in exchange for that, we're going to give you a vegan product, which I think is amazing. So we are giving you something free so we can take back something that is so damaging, not only to the environment, but to society. So that's an awesome initiative. And what we're going to do with the fur is we're going to give that to the Fur Bearer Defenders, and then they're going to give that to animal shelters and animal rehabilitation centers for those animals to sleep on to keep warm, which is like mind-blowing. That's such a great idea. And it's sort of like this life cycle that I think is beautiful. And I would rather give that to an animal who doesn't have a voice, instead of me wearing it to think that I look posh and more luxurious than everybody else, which is just delusion. And yeah, so you can go to makefurhistory.com to know more about this, or use that hashtag, or you can come in to see me at Lush on West 4th and we can talk more about this, or you could just come in and smell the great products that we have. And yeah, so I hope you learned a couple things here today. There's so much more behind this, and it's a huge industry, and I just want you to know that this is happening in your own country. So it's all about awareness. This is no accusation to anybody, and I think if somebody does truly care about knowing more about this issue, then they're simply just gonna pull up Google and do a little bit more research. So I hope everyone had a good Halloween, and sorry that this video was so long, but have a good day.